20K weeks minimum.
20K weeks minimum. If I don't have 20K, I feel like I suck.
What's it take to get 20K?
On average, about 15 average mortgage protection apps, 1200 APB.
Okay.
Right? I usually have a 95% close rate.
95% of what you book or what show up?
Well, I have a 99% show rate. Like I'll maybe out of 120 appointments, I have one person that doesn't show up.
Well, welcome on, bro. I'll do a quick little intro because it's already recording. But for those, Reese always reminds me, for those watching, I apologize. I don't always do intros because I'm an ass and I just start talking to people. But Reese asked last week. So welcome to the Insurance Insiders podcast. Got my new buddy, somewhat friend, Dylan Crane with us, getting to know each other a little bit over the last few months. Welcome in, dude. Sold, known for selling if I remember, I hear 1.4 million in the first 12 months. Was it less than 12 months?
First 12 months, yeah.
Yeah, first 12 months, 1.4 million on your own pen. New to the insurance business.
Yeah, never done it.
Yeah. I know you were in professional basketball before. Did you ever have a job? Or straight basketball to this?
I never have a job. No.
I don't know the answer.
Yeah, no, I ran my own business, started at 15. I ran my own basketball.
Did you really?
Yeah, basketball training business. Started from scratch.
Shit.
Yeah. Grew it up. Multiple $1 million business. Grew it. My dad was like, hey, go work a normal job. He was in the government. And I'm like, no, Dad, if I make more money, I made him a deal. If I make more money than you at 23 years old when I first got out of college, then I get to do my job that I want. I made more money than him that month. So I was like, all right, Dad.
First month out of school.
First month out of school, I made more money than he did. And so grew it, had to sell it, had a crazy personal family situation and sell it. So that's what changed. I
did not realize the daughter. Is that why I know you told me about your daughter little. Is that which you had to sell because of that stuff?
Yeah. So that's why I had to stop playing.
I did not know that. I knew the stop playing part. I remember us talking about that. I didn't know the business was running at that time too. I couldn't remember the details.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I had a whole gym. I had 15 employees.
What?
Whole thing. Yeah, and then it was just cut it down.
My buddy Dominique I had on a few weeks ago. He was a baseball player and he never had a job. He went baseball to this. And he's like, I don't know what a job is like. So
what does that mean?
Yeah. Craziness, dude. Yeah. How the hell? So how'd you find this? I don't remember.
Yeah. So it was really all God, man. It was, I was, so this is just kind of speaks to the persona of what I do, but I'm going to be the best version of me every single day. It doesn't matter. Like, hey, if I'm going to work out, okay, we're going to be the best shape we possibly can. Doesn't matter if I'm playing a sport or not. But, my daughter was in the hospital. Like I was supposed to play for the Clippers G League team. And then that was the plan when we moved down to Houston. We had to move down for her situation. For everyone out there, she needs a heart transplant or needed one. And so she went in the hospital like first week we got down to Houston. So I'm like, I can't play overseas. Can't just be normal and just play basketball. Moving to Houston, I had to stop my business then too because I didn't know anyone in Houston, right? So I couldn't transfer my business.
It was based somewhere else.
Exactly right. So
you went to Houston for the medical.
Yeah. I was just gonna try to find some way to train some players, but then play basketball. That was the plan.
Got it.
So found out my daughter was in the hospital. I had to start applying for jobs immediately. My first sales, I was going to do sales because I couldn't sit in a corporate desk and be some sort of HR person. That's stupid. So
you would not fit there. I confirm that for sure.
Yeah, right. That would not work for me. Not saying against any HR people, but it's just not for me. Okay. So I applied for some sales jobs. My first sales job I got was I sold lights in food processing plants.
Oh, no shit.
So I would literally go and watch cows get butchered. It was then blood spilled all over me as I'm looking at these stupid lights through a cow about to be made into a steak, and I'm looking up through cows' heads. You guys want to do
what?
So I'm selling these lights. Yeah. So and then I had a controlling boss as well, and I'm like, okay, there's no way I can do this. So I got out of that. Found a remote job where I did remote construction sales, sold roofs. I sold $2 million of roofs in like 5-6 months, but I only got compensated for 10. It was 10%. Right. So I only made 20 grand. No, it was 1%. Sorry, 1%. So I only get made 1% of the whole sale. So then I was like, okay, no one was training me. I didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. So I bought Jeremy Miner's course for roofs specifically and just try to get better at like cold call, because I'm literally cold calling businesses, trying to get customers. No customers at all. I had to drum my own business. So I'm like, okay, I need something better. I need to be taught because I wanted to get better, be the best version of me. I wanted to be the best in ruse, right? So me, I like dialing all day, so if in the corporate world, Eastern time zones, start at 7 a.m. my time, I'm in Central, and then dial all the way till the end, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, just like an insurance that we do. And finally dialed, and then, but they wanted me to come on to answer this question that I had that I needed to flip the script for me. Like, hey, hop on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, no, that's when I dial. Sorry. I'm not taking a meeting, right?
Yeah.
So when I did that, then from there, I'm like, they had me jump on, and then when I jumped on, I answered this question real quick. But the guy I knew from college was in that Jeremy Miner's teaching. He hit me up after. It's like, "Hey, you want to come into insurance?" I'm like, "No, that's stupid. Why would I do that?" And then 3 months down the line, he hit me up again. He's like, "Hey, Dylan, I want you to. What do you think about doing insurance?" He showed me a pay stub that he made, and I'm like, "All right, screw it, I'm doing it," because I wasn't making what he made, so I just did it. So
Sick.
that's how I
Is
got
that
into it.
Ashton?
That was Ashton.
No shit. God,
Yeah.
it
So
crazy.
if you're not posting your income out there on social media, personally, that's what I would do if I were you. But that got me into it.
And nice kid. He
Yeah.
ain't never sold nowhere near what you sell.
No.
Right.
No.
So I like that he wasn't intimidated. He's like, fuck it. Here's where I'm at. And look what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. My daughter wanted to come and say hi.
Hell yeah. Heck yeah. What's
Yeah.
up? Hi. What are you doing? You eating a cookie? You got a cookie? What is that?
Yeah. Just get a bar. Just
Heck
get
yeah. I
a-
love it. I love it.
All right. So that was Ashton.
Yeah.
Posted the income, and
Sick.
he didn't sell it. I didn't know anything about insurance.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I saw that he made 10 grand in a week. And I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I just had to figure it out.
Crazy. That's dope. That's cool. I remember when I think I was at some event when he first told me about you. It was like the first month. He's like, dude, I just hired this guy. He sold 100 and something grand. And I swear to God, dude, I went, careful, watch his business.
Right.
We didn't, it was literally like, it had to be a first month. I just connected the dots later,
Yeah.
you know? But you stuck with it, dude. You're super intentional. And I'll say this, like, and I want to get into the meat of it, right? Because I like teaching people like actual shit instead of theory and stuff. And watching you online, it's like you can watch people and know if they really do this thing or not, you know? And when I walked in, he was on this Ultimate Agent thing show with Cody. And I didn't get to see you sell. So I'm curious because I have a lot of questions there, right? Because just I want to understand. Yeah. Well, yeah. I was there the first day and you didn't sell for the majority of the first day till the end.
Yeah.
Your approach was different than most. What I remember just perspective, dude, and it's like, you ever see like agents and you're like, oh, they're really robotic. It just doesn't work. Like the way they do the words and they read a script and it's very robotic.
Yeah.
I picture you robotic, but in a different way. You walked in with like 2 gallons of water, 7 bananas, some yogurt, some fucking protein bars, and you did not get out of your seat for 9 straight hours. I was like, what the heck? You didn't talk to no one. You didn't, and it was like, you were dialing, you had multiple screens, you're dialing on your phone, on the computer, and texting people all at the same time. And I was just watching. And everybody else is really loud, and you were just in this little corner like a fucking machine.
Yeah.
It was intriguing. It was a different approach than I'm seeing. And I think if
Yeah.
I saw your script on paper, I feel like for me it'd be long. But dude, you ran it so well. And the amount of people that show up to your appointments, I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So I want you to explain kind of the thought and just how you do it because it was super intentional. Things like,
Yeah.
dude, the way you make people make sure they're going to be there was different than I've heard. Getting people, you were like, you do a lot of them on video, which I was surprised by, and you were like iPad, iPhone, Android, FaceTime, however you want.
Yeah. Give me some.
Yeah, so I would love to break down kind of your strategy going into a week, if you will, or a day first, and kind of how you approach the phones, man, because you you were killing it. I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
So I work great off routine. I need a schedule. Okay. It's really hard to break this down because it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
simple. It's just like start on
It was.
Monday. have your leads in, dial the leads, set up appointments, and then go from there, right? So when I was doing mortgage protection, I've transitioned into kind of advanced markets now. I'm probably gonna
Yeah,
back into mortgage protection a little bit, but um, my team's growing so large too. It's hard to kind of keep
yeah,
track of everything, but for
sure.
everything, it starts on Monday for me. I got to take a little bit, a couple days off, at least for now. I've been going at this too hard. So I make sure all my leads are on Monday. I don't have the leads kind of bouncing in throughout the week. That type of lead doesn't work for me because I like to have it all on Monday. Boom, dial them. Okay, then if in the middle of the week, if for instance, this has only happened twice, but if I ever needed more, then I can just get a midweek and then kind of make up for my production. So my goal is always 20K at minimum each week.
Okay.
There's only been two times over the past 15 months that I've been doing this that I've had below well after August after 20K when I started full time because I started initially part time.
Yeah. You
So my
said how many? Did you say how many leads earlier?
well no
Rough. I know. I didn't know if you said it
yeah
because you
no I
went
have
quick.
so it's
Okay.
just
Cool.
I use all mailers,
Okay.
right? So I when I did mortgage protection and usually it'd be anywhere between 40 to 60 70, just depends. They're brand new mailers.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Makes
so
sense.
so brand new mailers.
Yep.
And then but I make sure I haven't had under a 20K week only twice, and those were when we had our national conferences. And that's
There you go.
been out twice out of essentially 14 months.
So
So
20K weeks minimum.
20K weeks minimum. If I don't have 20K, I feel like I suck. Right. So I feel like
Okay.
I'm terrible. I don't know how to do what I'm doing. I can't produce.
Okay.
Um,
So what's it
so
take to get 20K? I know
what does that
I
get?
have this feeling you're analytical numbers guy like crazy.
I am. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been doing it so long, it's just natural at this point.
Yeah.
So I need about on average about 15 average mortgage protection apps 1200 APV.
Okay.
Right. So I'm gonna need I usually have a 95% close rate. So
Oof.
when I get someone and when they show up to the appointment and they're qualified, they don't have some crazy question that they veered off on and someone else called them and screwed it up. So a qualified client out of 40 appointments that I'll typically book in the week, 95% of them are I'm closing on. Okay. And then
95% of what you book or what show up.
well, I have a 99% show rate. Like I'll maybe out of like 120 appointments, I have one person that doesn't show up.
Can you? Because I'll be honest, dude. If I didn't watch you do some, I wouldn't. I'm like bullshit,
Yeah.
dude. I
Yeah.
don't stop
So
it. Cut it
and
out.
also that doesn't count like
And
because there's some people that
I'm going
will
to preface it for you.
go.
My style is I don't know how to get everyone to show up, so fuck it, book double. And
Sure.
I made a great living doing that, right? So
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued to learn how to. I don't know
Yeah.
how to get 99. I don't know how to get 75% to show up, dude.
I never really have people that reschedule with me,
Yeah.
but there will be someone that comes in behind me and calls and screws it all up for me. So I had to figure out a way to get rid of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's roll through it then.
So those are the only times that people don't show up. Okay. Outside of that, no one really reschedules. I get 99%. It's usually one out of 120 that typically wouldn't. Okay. So how do I do that? That's a longer conversation. We could have a 2 hour conversation on that. But it starts with three things. It starts with why are we on the phone? Verify that you're real. Be strong on your time. Right. And then there's one more piece, but then you got to make them feel guilty if they don't show up. Okay.
Which I like the way you do that though.
Correct. So, but there's connection in there though.
Yeah.
So those four things will help anyone's show rate, but there's connection. Like you have to build connection. So a lot of times we just read through the script or we never try to connect with the client. So I was teaching a lot of my agents this the other day. It's like, okay, if someone tells you they have cancer, and I'm not saying this to manipulate people or like, but it is a connection point that
Hmm.
you have to acknowledge. So if the person doesn't feel a real connection with you and they don't feel that you're the expert, then they're not going to show up to the appointment. Also, that's another thing. So if someone just says they just had cancer, how are you? Do you acknowledge that? How are you saying that? What does your tone sound like? Did you walk them through that experience and share that moment with them?
Yeah.
A lot of agents just go past that.
Yep.
And they're just like,
Sure.
oh, that's not in the script. I'm not talking about that.
Yep.
So,
Oh, sorry. Oh man, that sucks. So anyway, what's your address or whatever?
right. What's your routing and account number for me?
Yeah.
Right. So that doesn't work like that. So I think the way I did those four things that I mentioned earlier, and then also the way I connect with people, I also said to some people the other day, it's like I went to grew up in church.
Yeah.
So when you grow up in church, you hear the pastor all the time say, well, that person, just got diagnosed with leukemia.
Sure.
Notice how I said that, right?
Hmm.
It's like it's softer,
Yep.
it's endearing, but a lot of people are just like, oh, you just like cancer? Oh yeah, great, awesome. Cancer, move on. So
How's your blood pressure?
yeah, but I started to notice, and then there was one piece that kept messing up my show rate, and that was at the end, was because I noticed when you do mailers, you get 90 letters at their home.
Yeah.
So some people
Yep.
just fill out all of them, and there's
Yep.
some people that only fill out one. Those are the best ones. So, but you're gonna have half and half. So usually they'd always get to mine first, usually. So what I'd say is like, if anyone else just calls you from the mortgage protection office, just let them know you're taken care of. No one else should be calling you. I'm the only person of your file. They'd be like, oh, okay. And then they would just shut everyone up. So that way they
Simple.
would call back. Yeah.
Hmm? Hey guys, just created something really cool. And if you want to be part of it, join the Discord group I just created. The link is going to be in here. It's a dope environment. You can chat with others that are kind of in the community. You can see behind the curtain of our agency, have access to all kinds of stuff that we got going on, events, and my staff is in there. We have agents in there selling, me helping agents and sharing information. We're going to, as we build this thing out, share everything out there with all of you guys. So again, follow the Discord if you want to be part of everything we got going on. Join it now. We'll see you in there. Hope to help you more. What are you doing though to lock down that many? Can you walk through like specifics?
Lock down that many?
Yeah, well, let's lock down that many appointments and what you're saying to get them to show at that pace because I know it ain't just that one line.
No,
You're super intense. So again, I know you could dive into it for hours because you're well trained on it, but give the basics, dude, for newbies. Or someone struggling.
there's so much lockdown of it. It's like the whole thing is locking down. But
Yeah.
I found that you got to verify that you're real. So I'll give my license number.
Okay.
So you got to tell them it's going to be video, right? They know you're not a scam just by doing it over the phone,
So you
right?
book all of them by video.
All of them, all of them. If they don't get on me through video, then they're not going to buy. If they're going to tell me no, I'm not doing it, then they're not going to buy.
Crazy. How are you getting like old folks on too?
Yeah. Oh,
78-year-old.
yeah.
To be clear, I knew the answer because I watched you do it with an old couple. They were sitting on their chair
Yeah.
together, like squeezing in, watching their phone, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I do it on video. Yeah. All of them. And so I had to be good at teaching them how to get to their email, what to walk
Yeah.
through, how to do the join call. No Zoom. We're not doing that. It's too difficult.
Okay. So you don't do Zoom at all. How do you
No,
connect?
I just
FaceTime?
do Google Meet or FaceTime.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I'll do that. Let them know it's going to be video. If they give me pushback there, then I'm like, okay, then we're not setting an appointment time. Like if they'll give me pushback, like, wait, well, my wife's not going to be here at this time. Okay. No, that's fine. I mean, she has to be with us. Just, she's your beneficiary, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, like, do you want her to know when something happens to you that she's going to be able to get the house? Okay, cool. All right. So, what time will you guys both be together? I don't say it like that, but that's a synopsis.
It's pretty
Um,
close. Yeah.
and then, obviously, give them a realistic time. Don't say sometime during the day. Give them some time that they're both going to be home together,
Yep.
right? And make sure they have her number because some people on mailers write down their house phone. Then you call their house phone, they don't answer. You need to get both phones,
Yep.
right?
Smart.
So then you got to give them your number that you're going to be calling from so they can save it. I make them save it, make them write it down. Statistics shows that every time you have someone write down that you're write down your information, they're more inclined to show up to the appointment. It's roughly 80% of the time. So that's one you got to write the information down,
Yeah.
right? And then because you can't just say, hey, I'll call you back at 5. They're gonna forget. They're old. They're 78 years old, 75, right? And then you got to make them feel like, hey, so just let you know, I am in charge of a good amount of families, roughly over 1,000 families a year. So most importantly for me, for you to remember, is that a missed appointment does cost me that ability to really help those families. Does that make sense? Perfect. And then they'll say, yeah. Okay, then lastly, you're going to get a couple of reminders about our appointment. Naturally, just respond to those out of professionalism. And then just letting you know, this is something that I do mention in our office. If anyone else were to call you from our office, sometimes the information gets jumbled. Just let them know you're already taken care of and you can give them my number if needed.
So sick. You just, the reminders just automated something or do
Yeah,
you text them?
automated at a high level.
Yep. Yeah. So you just plug them in, book
But
your appointments in there,
key,
put it in, and it goes.
yeah, it sounds simple. It's going to help a lot of you close more appointments, just how I tie it down. But Like I think the extra 20% or extra 15% comes
It's
from
big.
just the connection beforehand
Yeah.
and just the professionalism, the posture that I've been able to generate,
Yeah.
before even we get to that.
You take a decent amount of time to book an appointment.
Yeah, 7 to 15 minutes. Just
To
depends if I
to
get something.
book an appointment.
Yeah.
Dude, my world is like 47 seconds. Talk to you tomorrow.
No, yeah, that's fine.
So I like it though, dude, because
Yeah.
it's obviously working.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everybody. That's just my
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah. But 7 to 15 minutes, you think about it, like, okay, how much time am I going to waste if I just, number one, book double appointments, so I just lost the lead. But then second of all, if I don't tie it down properly, then I just wasted time that I could have been doing something else.
How much information are you getting about
The health?
that you need? Yeah, while you're booking the appointments. I wouldn't know what to do for that long on a phone. So I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah,
This is for
sure.
me, dude. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get better.
So we got, I just say all the problems and all that they're going to ask every time. So I'll
Yeah.
get their height and weight, I'll get their mortgage amount. They usually the date of birth comes on the flyer or their
Yeah.
age comes on the flyer, so I don't ask that. So like, hey, throughout the course of your life, have you had any major medical conditions like heart attack, stroke, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, hospital
Okay.
stays,
Yeah.
COPD, anything like that? They're like, no, I'm perfectly healthy. Okay, so you've never been prescribed medications before? Like, oh yeah, no, I've been prescribed, this, and this,
Yeah.
right? So I'll get that there. Boom, that's it. Two questions.
Okay. So you're doing that stuff up front. Makes sense. Got it.
Yeah. So I get all that because now they're gonna act like they're healthy when they come to the appointment, and they're gonna obviously want insurance at the time, so they're gonna
Yeah.
act
Yeah.
the way. So I
Yeah.
gotta like get it all up front and make sure I know.
Interesting. I remember when I was new, I tried to do that because I was scared of what to do when I was with them because I
Yeah.
didn't know anything. And one of the first ones I found out they had diabetes and I had to Google it to learn what diabetes was. I was that bad at what we do at the
Yeah.
beginning. And then I would get people nervous if I started, like when I was new, I asked someone a health question, they'd be like, all right, do you have it? And I asked it very poorly. So I would scare them. It'd be like cannonballing in the water. And
Sure.
they'd hang up and get nervous. I'm like, all right, no more health. And I became afraid to ask
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when I
Yeah.
was new. So it was funny.
Well, that's the important thing too, is like the more you ask, the more they think you're the expert.
Yeah.
But you can't be weird about it either. There's a balance. Like how I described it is if you went to a doctor's office and how would the doctor be asking you? And they'd be asking you specific questions about your health, right? So I almost had to think like times when I went back to a doctor, what they would ask me so that way I'd understand the situation. That's going to be another part too. Like, do they believe that you actually know what you're talking about too? The
That's
good
true.
thing is in the beginning, I'm really good at faking it. So especially when I'm on the phone. So that helped too.
Some people hate that fake it till you make it jam. But I'm
Yeah.
all about it, dude.
Well,
I'm
you
all
got to
about it.
do it though, because like you
Yeah.
can't wait till you're finally good. It's just going to take time.
Yeah.
Only way to get rid of it is just do it. Everyone just stops until they're the expert. They're never going to change it. You
That's
gotta,
true.
the only way to figure out how to be an expert is just by keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The more you do it, the better.
I love it. All right, sick. Well, let's. I want to hear some sales stuff, dude. And just for clarity, I for fun. So I'm building like a little direct base shop again, right? Because
Yep.
the majority of my team honestly runs itself. They're all great people. They don't really fucking need me.
Yeah.
But I come from field sales. Dick around, done a few over the phone by mistake because we could when it was, but it was so new. The tech was different. It was pre-COVID, all that jazz. I ain't done it on the phone full time.
Yeah.
So I got these young kids like whatever. And I'm competitive, they're competitive. So I jump on the phones a few weeks ago. So I'm experiencing firsthand what it's like to be newbie to telesales. Do I one call close? Do I book? How do you keep them on? Weird when you go like, hey, so who do you bank with? Such and such. All right, give me your routing number. Hold on, it's upstairs. Click. Like
Right.
I have felt that stuff now. And I'm like, very different control on a phone than in a house. So I was super intrigued to see how well you controlled them on the phone booking, but I didn't get to watch the sales side because I think Ed came in that day, if I'm not mistaken.
Or
Was he there day two?
you left
Yeah,
at like
I was only there on
5.
day one.
Yeah, you left at
Yes,
5 and then
I think I saw you make one sale,
yeah.
and I don't know how many you sold that first day, but it was end of day. You started finally. You were booking. Basically, you spent the whole first day booking the evening and the next day or two, whatever.
Correct. Yeah. And I did 8K that day, 10 apps. And I was
On that first day.
yeah.
So you sold that much after I left. I did not
Yeah.
know that because I did not stay till 1 in the morning with you.
Yeah. And so I started appointments at like 5, then I went 5:36, 6:37, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. So it was a 30 minute. Yeah.
Crazy.
So then I went all the way up to I think 11 or 12, and then I just kept down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there's like again, that's how my brain works. I just structure it.
Just
Uh,
go.
but yeah, just go, but make sure I structure it properly and organize it so I can keep working, right? You gotta organize it in the beginning. If you don't, you can screw around and just wing it, then it's never gonna work.
Yeah.
What sales do you want to know? Happy to share.
Yeah. I think that it's like, how do you, so you get people in there. How are you, and again, I'm not a 90% close ratio guy, dude.
Yeah.
I've always admitted that. I've built what I've built without knowing how to do that shit. So I'm always impressed, intrigued, curious, half in doubt when people say it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you
yeah.
have the numbers, dude, and I know your crew, and you're profitable as shit.
Yeah.
So I would love to know, how does one, besides just numbers, how does one get 20K a week and get it to stick?
Man, that's such a
Yeah.
long answer, man.
It is. I mean, you can, and I can go super granular if you want, but I'm kind of allowing you to do it in a sense. Like you
Yeah,
dive in where you want,
sure.
because I know
So
I can. I'm up here.
yeah, so let's take two types of leads, most popular leads in my opinion. Let's take digital, and then let's also take mailers. Right.
Perfect. I love it.
Digital leads, you're going to be dialing all day, and you're never going to stop. Right. Personally, for me, I
Truth.
don't think that's the best, most efficient use of your time. And because now you're in the final expense world when you do
Yeah.
digital, right?
Yeah. For
It's
sure.
literally terrible, and you're wasting your time where you could be doing other things, and you're sitting there all day dialing. So let's kind of put digital aside. I mean, we can bundle it in eventually, but digital is just people just clicking around, and then they just happen to fall on this, and they thought it was cool, and then it said something like, "Hey, you can get mortgage rates for $50 when they're 85 years old," right? So it's really hard to sell that. Um, so we can go back to digital in a second. Let's do mailers. Mailers, you have to not only verify that you're real because they don't know where the mailer's coming from.
Yep.
They so what I found is, okay, I need to have an initial text that copies the mailer. Okay.
Okay.
That also this is after I called them, by the way, so I don't do this till I call them. Also, then you need to make sure that you have a script down to where it and ask a question at the end to where it channels the conversation to where you can set up a time to chat with them.
Yep.
Okay. Can't just be some random
Sure.
statement. Has to move the conversation forward.
Yep. Absolutely.
Also, when you're doing digital or either mailers, you need to have a local area code. Okay. I did that all through high level. I don't do even so I don't use a dialer. The reason I don't use a dialer because the number is going to be different
Yeah.
when you text them. Okay.
It's
So
true.
it's very important to keep the number the same because if you mess the number up, then people are going to think it's a scam because you're calling them from a couple different numbers unless you, because they realize it over time. They're realizing like, okay, if you're calling them from like five different numbers, they're like, okay, that's a different number. Okay, I'm not answering that. It's so to me that doesn't work. You have to call them from the same number multiple times so they eventually know who you are after you text to them, right? These are all for brand new ones. Okay, I'm going to do something different for
Yeah.
age leads. Okay, but brand new. It's like imagine if you filled out something. I'm about to get a cold plunge and a sauna at my house. Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine if I filled out 9 forms for people, and then all these people from cold plunge and sauna start hitting me with 15 different numbers. Like, okay,
Yep.
who's that guy? I don't know you. I don't know you.
True.
This is stuff people ask for.
Yep.
They ask for it. It's not, I'm not trying to be secretive here, right? They either want it or not, right? So mailers was the quickest way for me to get that out of them. So I had to keep everything the same. I had to make sure I had a local area code. Make sure because where are they going to get mail from? If they live in Hawaii and they get a mail from Virginia, and I'm kidding from Virginia, they're not going to answer that,
Yeah.
right? So I had to get a different number for specifically Hawaii, if you will. Okay, so book the appointment same way that I booked it. Okay, when I get them on the appointment, okay, after I went through my whole script that I just went through, it's posture is really key because they don't know you from Adam. So how I built that up, I play professional basketball. They can look me up on Google. So if you didn't play professional basketball, that's not a problem. Build a website, something
Yep.
that's fine. social media, Facebook, friend request them on Facebook before you, so they know you're real, right? Make sure you have friends. You can't make it like one person, right? But make sure you have friends. And so having friends, I've done that before multiple times. So do that. And then I send them a picture of my family before I show up to the appointment. So
Okay.
I relate with them, right? So it's like a family, hey, I'm going to send you a picture of my family. Comment, hey, if we look like a good feel good family, say it. If not, we look terrible, tell us. Our dog's better looking than me, so you can comment on my dog if that's fine. Okay, so say something stupid like that, right? It relates with them. More relatable. You can't be weird about it, but the more relatable you are, the better. Um, so I built that up. I built all these kind of like touch points that were real, 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 right?
Yeah.
Um, till we get to the appointment. Now, the appointment's very important because you're going to have those people that say, "Hey, what's the price?"
Yep.
I did a video last night on my TikTok that said, "Hey, the person who asks the first question is going to be the person that wins
I saw that.
that's going to win the sales call." Okay, so do not start off the appointment with, "Hey, how you doing? How's life? What's your favorite sports? Is that your dog in the background?" No. It's like jump right into it. Hey, we're going to get on video. And then we're going to jump right into it, make things happen because they think they're the busiest people in the world. So you have to like let them know, hey, we're going to
Yep.
get to business. The more you chat with them, depending on the person, you can just tell people are chatty Cathys when you get on the phone with them. But that also shuts them up and makes them sit in a seat. Now, if they're in the car and like doing all this other random stuff, sometimes I run it, but like they need to be sitting down. Okay. So a good way I get people sitting down, listening in front of the phone is just like, hey, I'll just let you get yourself situated, and then we'll begin. And then I shut up. I don't say anything. I let them get themselves. They're like, "Oh, okay, give me a second. I was cooking dinner. Okay, all right, cool.
It's so good. Yeah.
Sit, shut up." Okay. So, but people are used to getting mailers, or people are
Yep.
used to people coming over their house when they want something.
Yep.
The only way to implement that is when you do it face to face,
Yeah.
right? So I had to make it the same. Okay, verifies that I'm real too,
It's
right?
true.
So they don't think I'm a scam. So I set up the posture, go right into it. Hey, let's talk about your house. First of all, I ask them why it's important. Why are we doing this?
Yep.
And then second of all, let's talk about your house. So when I ask questions about the house, it's building the ammo, right? I need to know as much about the house and your life as possible, right? Before we move forward. If you don't give me that, then we're not doing the appointment. I've had people, well, you don't need to know that. Okay, fine. I do need to know that. So sometimes they'll give it to me. Then other times people will just get turned off by it. But it's like, I mean, like if you really want me to protect your house and like care about your well-being and your husband, if God forbid something happens, like those are the things I'm going to need to know. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Well,
that's fair. Sure.
yeah. And what are you
Right.
looking for specific? I mean,
All right. So I need to know their amount of their home, obviously, the exact amount. Okay, that's again, the more specific you are about the small finite things, again, the more they're going to know like this person actually cares about me and cares about my situation. Right.
yeah.
The more vague you are, they really don't think you care. They just think you're trying to sell them something.
True.
Right.
Yep.
So very particular. Hey, what's the exact amount of the house? How much are you paying a month? Okay. For your mortgage. Now, I need to know because eventually I'm going to ask them how much they're making a month. Right. I need to know how much they're spending on their mortgage, so I know like where to budget
Yep.
like my prices for some reason I can't give them the whole mortgage, right? So let's say they're making 5 grand a month and they got a $2,000 mortgage. Okay, I know we got a 3 grand leeway for everything else. So that helps me there. Is this the forever home? I need to know if it's a forever
Good
home. If it's
question.
only a 10-year, if they're only going to be in it for 10 years, I'm going to give them a 10-year term. The comp sucks on it,
Ah,
but like, why would you get them something they're not going to be in for longer than 10 years? That doesn't make sense. So now the price is going to be higher, then they're going to think it's too high, right?
got it.
Um,
Interesting.
Yeah. Number four, okay, I get their incomes. I got to get each of their incomes. I'm not getting the husbands. I'm not just getting the wives. I'm getting both of them. Why? One of them was making 5 grand. The other was making zero. It's
Yeah.
pretty obvious to get mortgage protection on, right?
Yeah.
So I have to have it on Betty over here. We don't know if we need it on John yet. Okay. So I need to get that. Then I need to know if they have any other coverages, right? I need to know how much money they're making. I need to know if they have 401ks. I need to know if they have IRAs. I need to know if they have other life insurance. Because then what's going to be my objection at the end? If they have $1 million in their 401k annuity,
Yeah.
okay. If they have life insurance of 250,000, their house is 300, they're going to give me that objection at the end. So I have to handle that first. So like, what makes you feel like you need more? Let's say they had 250 and their house is 300, right? What makes you feel like you guys need more coverage? Hit them with it right away.
Yep.
Because if you don't hit it, then they're just going to be like, oh, I think we're good with what we got. Right? Because then you just pitch them a $300,000 mortgage protection. That's more expensive than life insurance. Then now you're screwed.
Yeah.
They're just going to stick with what they got. Right? So you gotta hit them all that. And then I call it the why piece. Okay. We should all know how to do the why, but insurance is emotional sales. It's not about the product. It's about the result of the product, what it does. Okay. So I really hit on like, how is the result of this product going to answer your family's concerns that you guys have? Could be a question I ask her that way. I haven't asked it that way before, but that just came up. Okay, so I go through that piece, get the whole why. I need them to tell me that this is what they need. I don't tell them that it's what they need. They tell me. All right, because if I'm telling them, they're never going to buy. But if they tell me, they're going to buy. Okay, and then I walk through the objection pieces: routing, bank, verified, approve. I'm going to be your mortgage protection agent for forever. No one else should be calling you. Go through that again.
Yep.
And then I give them the options. But when I give them the options, I know how they're thinking up to that point, what they're looking for, even if I haven't directly asked. So I have to make sure I'm pitching it to how they want it. All right. So what that means is this. This is gold. I really don't want to share this piece. I'm debating it currently in my head because this is like where in my opinion, after you've done all those things well, how you pitch it's really important.
Agreed.
So I'll share one thing that's important. So I've gotten to know them pretty well up to this point. We're 15 minutes up into the call. So let's say so just to make sure like John's taken care of if God forbid something did happen to you, to make sure the full house is covered. And he doesn't have to worry about paying for it after this price. Give him that price. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to, so I'll give you another trick too. Let's say they're 62 and they got COPD. Okay. Usually can't get a term at that point. Foresters, you could technically, but underwriting is going to be terrible. So, there's a couple of things. So let's say they got COPD, pretty severe stage. Okay. I'm going to give them accidental to complete the whole mortgage amount.
Yep.
So you need your health license. Okay. So if you don't have your health license out there, get it. Okay. So you do accidental and then you do whole life. Okay. So then you split it. So how you pitch it is very important. This is very important as well. So, hey, great news is don't give them bad news. Great news is you're going to have your whole entire house paid for. Okay. Great news is if you were to pass away from any type of accident, it's a very popular accident or a very popular death in the United States, especially now. Yep. All right. You'll have your entire house completely paid for if God forbid something happens to you in the event of an accident. Okay, great. Make it positive. It's not negative. Get something. And then second of all, it's like, hey, also like God forbid something happened to you tomorrow, you're going to have a portion of your house taken care of. So that way, your family can, continue to make the mortgage payments on it for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, depending how young or old they are. Obviously, the less expensive whole life is at that point. Yeah. There's also a couple other things to do. Like there's more advanced products that you could put them on there as a term writer and stuff like that. But you don't want to overcomplicate it as well because then you start talking about another product and then you just lose a sale because now they want to think about it because they don't know anything about the product. Yeah. Right. So you just keep it simple, give them what they want. And then let's say they say no, then you can kind of go in there with more of an advanced market product. But so that's just a little bit. So that's just a synopsis. If you just followed what I did there, you're going to sell over 60% of the time at minimum. So, sure. But there's other things that I do. Yes. That,
he won't share, folks. He's going to keep them hidden.
Eventually I'll share. Eventually, just, not right now.
For those of you that have followed me for a while, I've helped build this agency up to over $200 million in paid annual premium per year. We have over 5,000 agents a year that sell, and I am rebuilding. We're building a new base shop, helping people build big agencies, get to multi 7 figures in income, or producers that want to just sell and get to a multi 6 figure sales career. Hit me up. I'm hiring direct. I'm looking to train and mentor winners that want to work their ass off and build something dope. Click on the link below, or you can go to johnwetmore.com/join and put in your application. We'll see if I'd be interested in working with you. DM me, hit me up, whatever you like. It's all good, brother.
Did that kind of help though? That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the intentionality and walking through a process. And if they don't follow the process, you're out. And you can have that level of confidence when you have the structure and the appointment flow and lead flow that you keep stacked up.
Yeah.
You always have your funnel full. So if they don't
Yeah.
comply, you definitely have another appointment in a few minutes, I'm assuming.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's correct. And alphas, I would say alphas are probably the only tough sale, especially in
Okay.
the beginning. Like everything else is fine, but like alphas were the only tough one. Um, what I
Why?
found, huh?
Why you think?
It's like give me the price. They're stuck on it,
Yeah.
right? So they're stuck on the price. So like, what the first thing I would do this usually lowered down their guard was like, hey, so sir, like I had to give them like a real world scenario. Sir, do you play sports or have you played sports?
Yes. Yep.
Let's say they say yes.
Yep.
Okay, most of the time it's yes if they're some
Sure.
sort of okay. So have you played sport? Okay, so like if you went to go get your golf clubs fitted, okay, are you gonna ask the person that's fitting your golf club what's the price automatically? He could give you some kids clubs. Would you want kids clubs? Okay.
I like that. That's a good one.
Would you want kids clubs? He's like, well, no.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want me to give you a kids policy? Okay, that's $10. You good with that? Okay, no. So just is it fair so that I don't give you kids clubs per reference that I can kind of go through some things that I need to know to make sure I'm setting you up properly?
It's good.
So then I'll do that, and then they're just like, "Oh, okay." Well, they'll usually shut up, and then some guys will just, you're just going to get those people that are just weird. One
Sure.
out of every 100 that are just like, "Well, that was kind of offensive." It's like,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't offensive. You just feel a certain way because I didn't do that's what you wanted. So
Yeah.
then those are the clients I'm just not going to work with. And I tell people all the time is like, okay, a lead is a lead, yes, but at the same time, that doesn't have to be your client,
Sure.
right? Put them in a drip campaign. Hit him with text for the next 5 months. Eventually, he'll come around, right? But you got to put him in a drip campaign. If you don't put him in a drip campaign where they're getting texts of information they wanted, then you've essentially lost all the money that you invested into it.
It's true. I love it. What do you struggle with most right now?
Struggling with most?
Yeah.
Again, I think everything should be perfect at all points and times. If it's not perfect, then it's a problem.
That's why
Um,
I'm asking.
but
Because I know this bitch ain't perfect all the time.
right,
I
right.
do this for a living.
Yeah. So it's just like the hardest part for me is like, my team's growing pretty large at this point. This month we'll should have around 40, 45 writing agents. Um, should do pretty close to around 500K submit. Problem is though, it's like, okay, you see what
You're
I'm
going to
doing.
be 20 fucking percent of it by yourself, though.
I'll probably,
25, hell,
I'll
half if
probably,
you're doing two something a month.
yeah, I'll probably be like 175, 180 by the end of the month.
So
So
one dude's doing 180 and the other 40 do 300, 250.
yeah, 300, yeah, yeah.
So
So
I can see where you're probably frustrated.
there you go. So it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, like it's like I can just do this in the back of my head and I'm teaching them how to do it. But the problem is in insurance, people don't have money to invest. And people
Yep.
also don't understand that, hey, I need to make more money in order to invest more money. The more money I invest, the more money I'm going to make.
Sure.
Second problem, people don't want to invest in their skills. We have training freaking every day. Like every day. It's not the issue. Like I do the training, like we have activity reports, we go over it, like I'm hearing these people dial, I'm listening to live dial, I'm listening to all these things. But it's like it really comes down to people just aren't willing to invest, right? But at the same time, they're cool with that though. Like if they're only doing like making 5K a month, cool. Like there's not like what I found, there's not a whole lot of people out there in the world that actually want to make like a lot of money. Like it's because it's too difficult.
They hope it falls out of the sky and they make it.
Exactly. And
They
they're
don't want to
thinking
do what
that
it
when it
takes
comes
to make it.
they're thinking when it comes to me, it's like, oh, I'm some sort of answer from heaven and I can just make it fall out of the sky for them. So that's I would say that's the most important because I know what I would have done if I was 22 and had no like didn't have enough money, what I would
Yeah.
have done. But it comes down to number one, you got to be willing to invest. And number two, you got to be willing to invest in your skills. And number three, you got to jump all into this thing 100% and make it happen. Also, everyone moves too slow. Everyone tries to dip their foot in the water and
Yeah.
See if this thing's going to happen. So I'm just, battling all of that, but ultimately I can't force people to do it. And I can't make decisions for people. Right. So
Yeah.
I think the most frustrating thing is just people in general. It's like they're not like me and you. They're not like we're getting out there trying to attack the game and just like make this thing the greatest thing
Yeah.
ever. But people don't want that. That's why there's only a certain amount of leaders and a certain amount of people at the top. And,
Yeah.
but that's okay. You can't build an organization forcing people to do it.
No, it was interesting going from that. I remember being at that really frustrated point, and then very similar to how you're explaining how to navigate through clients, learning how to navigate through different types of agents to get the result that we equally combined, me, them, whatever, some combination we're looking for.
Yeah.
And that learning that balance was interesting.
Yeah,
What
that's another difficult thing. There's some things that you say I pick up on, and then there's other things that like gets me to another idea of how you say it. But at the same time, like you can only say so much, spin it 15 different ways for someone just to freaking do it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
you can't spin things until they ultimately want to do it. You can spin it
Mm-mm.
all day and it might click, but
Yeah,
you know, people are gonna
yeah,
be.
they are. It's the battle, man. It'll be interesting to watch you navigate that. A lot of us high achievers, high salespeople struggle with the other, whatever you call them, on the
Yeah.
other side of the fence.
Well, I had to figure out how to because it's frustrating,
Yeah,
right? But I can't have people feel my frustration. So what I had to
sure.
do is I had to hire people that I knew were great in those positions, or I exercised my base shop to for us all to be able to work together and help each other's
Yeah,
businesses all together. That's a whole nother like
yeah,
conversation there that I've kind of written up. That's took me probably several months to build, but now it's finally working how I want it to work.
so,
So that's good, but it's just like where other people are strong at, they love that stuff.
yeah,
Where I'm weak at, yeah, I can't do it. I'm going to burn out. So I had to figure out how to delegate everyone, make it work for everyone's advantage, but at the same time, make it one healthy working machine to where it helps everyone. So that's something that I've initially instituted, and that's working at least for now. So
staff. You have staff, I assume.
I do have staff.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So I have
Good.
a production assistant. I did have a person that interviewed. Um, got out of that. Now I do all the interviews myself. Um,
Smart.
So I really just do production assistant. Then I have some people on the team that, I'm stacking, just giving them agents that,
Yep.
and personally, it's better for them because it fits better with their personalities.
Sure.
They get me every single day, they ain't gonna like me, right? But if they get them, they're gonna like that more. And they just get a little piece of me when they want it. They
Yeah.
can call me whenever they want, but I always tell people this: it's a business partner. This is a business partnership. This is not. I'm not your dad. I'm not your boss. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call you and say, "Hey, are you up, darling?" No, like you're a grown adult, like you're a grown woman, grown man. Like get out there and do it if you want this or not. You know.
How's the struggle of like, because you're doing it, but like protecting your time as a salesperson while you're trying to build? Like, how do you navigate the neediness of someone new, the person that you're frustrated with making sure you got to do you on that side? Because we got two sides of the coin you're trying to run at the same time.
I always tell people this. Um, when's the best time to make income?
When the
Eight to eight,
sun's up.
8 to 8,
Yeah.
right?
Perfect.
We don't do stupid stuff, uh, such as role playing or whatever during the day. It's time you can make money, right? So why would I take time out of my day and your day if we're talking about, hey, why did Nancy not buy this policy? Okay, let's wait till the end of the day. Let's talk then. Let's get better at it when we can't make money, right? Because
Absolutely.
ultimately, I'm doing you a disservice if I'm taking up all your time that you could be dialing and doing something else,
Yeah.
right?
Most people
So,
struggle with that, dude. They
yeah,
allow they allow the agent to dictate the schedule.
you're correct. But it's like I let them know but I set expectations. So, you got to set expectations early.
Yeah.
If you don't set expectations early and on the interview, then they're going to think they rule your life.
Yeah. It's
But
like sales.
yeah, but like so, you got to have some. This is really a corporate business. Okay, so if you've ever been in corporate before, okay, you're going to have a team meeting, once or twice a week. You're going to have your initial department head meetings, right? Zoom, whatever you do. And then there's going to be like your internal leadership group that you're going to have like those kind of leadership meetings with.
Yeah.
Okay, because they funnel everything out, they're controlling their people. right? I'm the head where I control how the organization's going, but I got to make sure we're all on the same page, working all together at the same time, right? So it's really it starts with communication, because if you don't communicate correctly how you want your organization to be run, then your organization is never going to grow to what the level you want it to. So I think that that's a skill of mine, but I know where I'm weak, and weak is tolerating. Hey, I had to go pick up my daughter today at 5. She had band practice. You knew that 15 days ago. Okay. All right. Thanks, man. Yeah, cool. We'll chat later this evening.
Yeah.
I can't navigate that. And when people try to give me excuses too, my daughter was in the hospital 300 days. I was writing policies in the hospital and she was in the operating room. Like, you're gonna give me an excuse and tell me like you can't dial today because you have a cold.
Tummy ache. Yeah.
Like, you ate the wrong thing. Come on, man. Like like I have the greatest excuse on the planet, and I was out there still doing it. I
We're the greatest reason, bro.
sold 20 grand in the hospital in one day.
Sick.
Come on.
I always say easy game when you know how to play.
That's it. But okay, that brings up another topic too. It's like the problem with most people is they just don't try to figure this thing out faster.
Yeah, it's true.
They never ultimately every person has an aha moment.
Yeah,
So for
for
me, it's
sure.
like, how quick can you get to the aha moment?
Yeah.
And there's people that don't even try to figure it out till it takes them years. Took me to when I finally clicked for me to just sell. I still didn't even figure it out when I did 180K my second month. I was just kind of doing what I did, but it clicked for me how to make sure everything was guaranteed, because it doesn't click till it's guaranteed in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Right. Until I fully get why certain things happen, it didn't click till probably 8, 9 months.
Yeah.
But I just kept doing what I was coachable, which is another thing people don't do. They don't know how to be coached. Um, I was coachable till that point. I just did everything off my mentor and Edward, and just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it finally clicked in my brain. And at that point, I could be independent. But I
Yeah.
killed myself for 8 months to finally get it to aha. But most people
Yeah.
take multiple years.
Yeah. I've been a student. I reference athletes a lot, and you treated this a lot like you were trying to make a team
Yeah.
and start
Yeah.
and lead them to a championship. I mean, that seems
Whole
like
thing.
your approach.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, that was like the ultimate agent,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're here for a week. We're here to compete. I'm going to win. I'm not going to lose. How do I set it up to where I'm going to win? Right? Why go in? It's like Tiger Woods said, right? It's like, look, do I
There
go to
was no confusion about it either, to be clear.
do I go to a golf tournament to lose?
Yeah, it's true.
No, I'm not going to golf tournament to lose. Like, so I just went there. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna. So it's funny. This is like this is funny. So I'll share this one thing and then we can wrap it up if you want. But we got on the initial huddle on that. And this is how agents, if you guys are out there listening, like, you guys have to approach the week. So this might give you guys like a good background to my brain. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had our initial meeting of like, hey, when we're going to come on, and just kind of initial questions of the Ultimate Agent. So I have all these ways of making money, okay, in insurance. So there's ways you can cheat. So essentially it's like, hey, you got to use all these leads. You got to come on and you can start dialing then. And I'm like, okay, dialing. Okay, so can I get all my leads on Friday, run through a drip campaign, and then I don't dial them, but I set them up appointment text throughout the week so that my week's already set. Right. So I'm asking these questions. Can I talk to the client before, tell them I'm going to call them back next week? Can I just dial through 1,000 of them and then just like set up my whole week the day before? Um, but this is how my brain works like every week. I'm like, okay, if I need to hit 40K this month to hit my next promotion, okay, I need to make sure everything's set up like this day so that way I can fix it, right? Or that way I can get to my numbers, right? So everything's based off of the amount of money you invest, but it's like during that week, since I'm going to win Ultimate Agent, like, oh wait, maybe, yeah, we can release this after.
Yeah. Yeah. This won't be out for like,
Okay.
yeah,
So
it'll be good.
okay, so
This
I
won't
can
be out for a while.
yeah, okay.
I think
All
he's
right,
5, 6 weeks out, something like
okay,
that. So
okay,
you're good.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So when I win the Ultimate Agent,
Yeah.
then I need to make sure my week's all set up. So I knew that if I invested more money, I'm still going to make more money. But I knew if I had my week set up properly with legally by the rules that we set,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure everyone wasn't cheating. So everyone's looking at me when I'm asking these questions like, what the heck, dude, you're crazy. Like they're looking at me like some sort of psychopath. I'm like, this is how you think in a sport. This is
Correct.
exactly it. Like if we do a board game, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna win the board game.
Yeah.
Like we're playing Catan. I love Catan. It's like if we're playing Catan, okay, you got the hay over here, you got the logs with the bricks. Okay, you got a structure where you want the bricks and the logs and you build your fortress. It's the same thing. It's just like how am I gonna build my fortress and how I'm gonna make money fast? And you're pushing towards this goal and just people just don't view it that way.
Yeah.
But I think if they viewed it more like they're trying to win a video game or they're trying to win some sort of battle or competition, you're going to be more successful at insurance.
I love it. Anything in life, to be honest.
Anything,
When
yeah,
if you approach
yeah,
things that way.
yeah. If you want to be president of the United States, okay,
Yeah.
there's a way to do that too.
Yeah.
You just got to build steps every single day to do it. No one thinks in building blocks or structures or how to get from point A to point B. You got to go from point A to point B before you get to C.
Yeah. You're saying you didn't roll out of the womb and get lucky here.
No, no. I'm born in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm not the smartest tool in the tool shed, but if you tell me to go outside, dig up a hole and dig it 90 feet deep, that simple. Let's get it done. How do we get there faster? Okay, we're gonna hire tool trucks. We're gonna have someone else dig with me. Whatever.
Love it. Love it. All right. Anything I should have asked you that I didn't that you want to share?
Um, maybe what's next?
Let's go.
Man, well, when we first got on here, I said I wanted to be the best. So, I think that the next biggest thing is pushing. I would say you probably have a large. I don't know anyone else, but you probably have the largest agency. I'm assuming. So
I know some people with bigger ones for sure.
okay. So whatever that one is. So it's like, all right, we got to get to the largest agency. Why do something to be last, right? The problem is, Edward, who I'm under, his agency is obviously as a larger whole.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be larger because I'm in it, right?
Yep.
But as far as just direct organization, that's just mine. Make that the largest as possible, and then, man, I got larger goals, man. I think God's called me to do something different, like insurance. I'm going to be in insurance for forever. I'm not going to sell my business. I'm going to keep it moving, but there's going to be different things I step my toe in. So, those guys out there like Pat Bet David or Andy Elliott or guys, David Goggins out there like that. They're doing stuff like I envision me getting to that level. So insurance is just the beginning. So I don't know if I'm going to do larger than 258K a month on my own pen, which is my record. I could if I really wanted to. If someone breaks it, I will. But and the 218 of that, it was 150 issued roughly. So I don't know if I'm going to like break that or I don't want to break it. So that's probably going to be there for a little bit. Grow the agency to really big, and then start helping people win. And then third thing would just be kind of branch into something else and conquering that. So
I love it, dude.
go from there.
When you do 150 now, because I'm just curious, I'm not going to let that be your last one. How much of that is life volume versus annuity, IUL, advanced stuff?
So I'm doing a lot of IBC.
Okay, got it.
So when I do a lot of IBC, I would say in that month it was probably like 30% mortgage protection, 70% IBC.
Okay.
So that's all it is. So
it's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
That's a different game.
I couldn't handle mortgage protection. Like it's the conversations you get and the people you're trying to talk to. It's like, okay, if I can make $8,000 instant issued versus 500, why would I be doing mortgage protection?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. So I had to flip. It's like, okay, if I work the same way in something that's instant issued, I can make $8,000 the next day. Why? That doesn't make sense. Like if I can do 100 policies, making $8,000 a day, okay, I'm going to make, was that 80,000?
That's $8,000 a day at 100 is 800 G's.
Okay. There's the math, right? So right. So 800, right? So I can make 800 grand. Geez, why would I do that? So we can do that another time.
I like it. I have a feeling we'll talk again, bro.
I think we will, brother. Man, it's been fun.
Same, bro. Appreciate you getting on. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for sharing the pieces you would. I'll get more out of them next time.
We can do that next time. We'll sit down.
Man.
More formal. All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Let me know if I can help. Later.
Yeah,
Dude.
we'll do, brother. Chat soon.
Hey guys, if you've enjoyed the podcast or any of the previous episodes, if you're on Spotify or any of the other Apple podcast platforms, would love if you'd go in and leave a review for us. If you're watching on YouTube, comment, like, subscribe, share, do all the things. We'd greatly appreciate it. Helps get the word out to everybody. Appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.